Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Excellency President Yudhoyono, Your Majesty, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Mr. President, thank you very much for your very kind invitation to Afghanistan to participate in this very important forum for all of us, the Forum for Democracy in Bali. And I'm particularly grateful to you for inviting me now twice to this forum. For us, the people of Afghanistan, to join our brothers and sisters in Indonesia is a particular pleasure and honor. The key theme of this forum, democracy and global governance, are actually relevant to our collective interests and concerns. We see across the world an ever-accelerating movement towards democracy, driven as much by historic dynamics of change and transformation as by newly emerging trends that are unique to the 21st century. Democracy today is not only a manifestation of the quest of people for freedom, equality, and self-determination, but also of the emergence of a globalized society, social activation, social media, and of course, the evolution that we see in communications technologies. On the other hand, while the universal ideals of democracy are paramount, the question of democracy as a just and desirable system of government is far from settled. Indeed, as democracy spreads across the globe as a system of government, its contradictions and drawbacks come to the fore as well. For nations, ladies and gentlemen, such as Afghanistan, the real test of the desirability of a democratic system is not only in bestowing individual freedoms or promoting public participation in elections, but actually in the degree to which it promotes inclusiveness, stability, progress, and a future of hope for our people. Besides, for a democratic system of government to promote justice and progress, it must be anchored in good governance and the rule of law, which we find in Afghanistan to be of paramount importance in order for democracy to take roots and get promoted. My own view, ladies and gentlemen, founded in Afghanistan's intermittent experience of democratization from the beginning of the 21st century to the more in-depth attempt that we had 10 years ago, suggests that democracy will succeed as it did this time in Afghanistan, if and when it is in a movement together, concomitant with the traditions and values of a country, of a people. Afghanistan's experience in the 20th century suffered twice or three times because this aspect of it was not taken care of. Afghanistan's experience this time has succeeded better than our expectations because we also relied heavily on the values and democratic practices that the Afghan tradition allows. One such practice is the Afghan Loya Jirga, or the Grand Council of the Afghan people. We've had now 2 presidential elections and provincial elections, and 2 parliamentary elections. We saw that people participated in those elections in spite of the violence against them. We experienced women traveling for hours on foot in snow and cold in order to go and vote. We have an example, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, of the first presidential elections in 2005, where a woman in the Farah province of Afghanistan came to the voting station carrying a card for voting belonging to her daughter who had just given birth to a baby. And she said, "I'm here to vote for my daughter too." The voting officers told her that she could not do that, that only the owner of the card could vote. So she went back and after a while came with her daughter carrying the newborn baby to cast her vote. This signified to us that the country was now on the right track and truly and deeply into a democratic practice. As a consequence of that, today in Afghanistan, we have 27% of our parliament made up of women. We have them participating in the media, in the economic and social activities of the country. We have a Senate and a House of Representatives, and we will have, in a year and a half from today, the third presidential election in Afghanistan, which we are trying our best to conduct properly. We hope that the international community will also assist us in conducting those elections properly. That will take Afghanistan many, many steps further into a stronger democratic future and definitely a better overall future. Well, of course, as President Yudhoyono in his address said, democracy can only succeed and also better succeed if it is homegrown and anchored in the conditions of a particular society or a nation. That is indeed true, and that is what we have learned in Afghanistan as well. Coming to the global democratic governance, I think there is no disagreement here that it isn't just, nor is it very democratic. The Security Council does not represent all of us. The 5 permanent members having a veto power is not democratic. The relationship between the Security Council and the General Assembly is not democratic. And of course, we all wish it to be democratic. How do we get there? Afghanistan is too small and insignificant to make an impact. But the talk we will, democracy allows us that, the freedom of speech. So we do ask for a more democratic global order, and we hope all of us together can push for that. And Mr. President, I thank you once again for inviting us here today and for the very noble initiative of convening a democratic forum in Bali. We all need to take this noble course forward and deliver it properly to ourselves and by extension to the global governance. Thank you very, very much.